This is Sell Yourself Fearlessly, episode number 4. When does video matter? Welcome again to Sell Yourself Fearlessly, a show for entrepreneurs who love what they do but hate sales. We're going to help you remove fear and uneasiness when selling your own product or service so that you can uncover more opportunities, spend more time on the things that you enjoy, and ultimately earn the money you deserve. My name is Scott Whitney, and this is a Scott Whitney Academy production. We're broadcasting live from one of the Vegas Video Network studios here in Las Vegas. By the way, we're broadcasting to the Scott Whitney Academy Facebook page, if you'd like to check that out. And also, a video and audio version of this content will be made available on demand at all your favorite podcast and video distribution platforms. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. When does video matter? Well, let me begin with a bold statement. I believe that if you don't have a strong video strategy for your online presence, you're in real trouble. Now listen, I'm a video guy. And if a video guy tells you need video, it's kind of like Santa Claus saying, I think this Christmas thing is a pretty good idea. It's a little bit on the nose. But it's not me saying that video is important. It's actually your customers and your prospects. And here's what I mean by that. 80% of all internet bandwidth is video. In other words, 8 out of every 10 bytes that's screaming across the interweb is a video byte. And the reason is because video is important to people. Okay, so if video is important to people, which it is, and those people are your customers and your prospects, which they are, well, then naturally video should be important to you. But the problem, has always been cost and time. Right? You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars having a video shot at a nice studio. And then once the video has been shot, you oftentimes have to wait, right, for the magic that's post-production. So what ends up happening is a lot of people go, oh, wait a minute, I've got a phone and the phone's got a camera. I'll use my phone to shoot video. Right. Well, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. You see, homemade videos are no longer charming. They represent an amateur effort to put your best foot forward. And here's what I mean by that. It's not a stretch for somebody to be watching your homemade video for your business and think, at that moment, they were their own customer. In other words, they hired themselves to shoot this video, to try to convince me to work with them. They didn't even think enough of themselves to do the best work. How can I expect them to care about me? It's not a stretch, but you're not going to hear that kind of feedback because typically people don't like to deliver bad news, right? Your friend Dave's not going to call you and go, hey, Bill, that video was terrible. You should stop doing that, because he doesn't want you to feel bad. Your competitors aren't going to tell you that you're doing bad video because they want you to do bad video. And your prospects aren't going to tell you that because it's not their job to teach you. They'll just go to the next place. It's really about context, the location, and the reason for that video. So if I'm at a Def Leppard concert, right, and I'm like, look, I'm getting sugar poured on me. This is fantastic. Yeah, that makes sense because it's in context. But if I'm doing what looks like a hostage video for my business and I'm trying to convince you to take action on my behalf, that's a miss. And it's almost never going to work for you. Okay, so what we have to decide is, A, is it important to do it right the first time? It should. And then what kind of videos, or actually what kind of businesses do videos work for? And my belief is this: if you think you or your team has a competitive advantage, in other words, you or your team is what makes you guys great, video is in play. If, on the other hand, you're selling a commodity where you and your team aren't a big part of the story, I think video is a waste of time. Now, yes, I know about the razor guys who sold the razors, and they did a really cool video, and they got lots and lots of views, and I'm sure they sold lots and lots of razors. And listen, if you've got a 5 or 6 figure budget for videos, I say go ahead and do it. I don't have that kind of budget. My customers don't have that kind of budget, and I don't think you need that kind of budget. But it really does depend on whether you believe you have a story to tell. And you do if you believe you make a difference or your people make a difference. So I think it's safe to say that it's important to use video, but just because you know something's important doesn't mean you know how to do it. And this is a problem we solve. So what we're going to be doing on subsequent episodes every so often is I'm going to give you very specific tips on how to produce video that helps you sell. In other words, we're going to talk about 10 plus ideas that if you inject these ideas into your videos, they will radically increase the probability of people buying for you. All right, that's it. Hey, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, reach out to us, will you? Podcast at scottwhitneyacademy.com. Again, podcast at scottwhitneyacademy.com. I'm also going to ask you a favor. If you like what we're doing here, A, thank you, and B, share this with your friends, your family, your colleagues, people who you think will gain value from this, and also give us a positive review on the social media or podcast or video platform that you happen to find us on. And that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good weekend and go out there and sell yourself fearlessly.